This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we will start the session. Yesterday, what we discussed. So, if LE fails, right? So, what is the if LE fails? So, if we have more than two conditions, then we can go for the if LE fails. Okay. So, if we have another condition, like if condition one you have the condition one true, then if you want to do some logic, you can do. If else, if condition two have one more if the condition to true, then you want to do some another logic, you can go for the elif. So if the both the conditions not true, then you want to do the some more logic, then you can use the else. So suppose here you have the another condition. Okay, again you can give the elif. Okay, elif condition three you can give. Okay, and logic condition three and logic four. Okay. So as many ifs, if you want many ifs, you can use, but more ifs not suggestible. So that is not the better readable. So try to minimize the if, using the ifs as many as. Okay. So if you use multiple ifs, okay, here you use three ifs, right? So if you use 20 ifs, so what it would be? Will you understand what is the going on in that if condition? This 30 if condition, you don't understand, right? So that is why we cannot use more if conditions. Okay, understand, right? As much as possible, you try to minimize the using if conditions. So you can use and also and condition 4. Okay, if condition 1 and condition 4 true, then it will execute the logic 1. Okay, both the conditions true, in that situation only logic 1 will execute. So if the any one condition is true, then if you want to execute logic 1, then you can use the or. So these and all you know, right? So and or logical operators we already discussed, right? Okay. So after that we discussed about the iteratives and loops. So in that yesterday we covered about for loop, right? So in the for, if you want to do any logic repetitively, so in the for the particular range, then we can use for the for loop. Okay, suppose if you want to print Python, so until 10 times, we can use the range of 10. So what is the range of 10? It will execute from 0 to 9 times. Okay, means 10 times it will, this for loop will loop through. Okay. So suppose if you want, you have the Python horizontal way, so you want to print it in vertical way, then you can use the for C in Python, means character in Python. So it will, if you print C, it will print the each character in the Python. So understand, right? Suppose this is okay. Sir, you covered only Python, only string. So if I have the data in list, how can I loop through the list? You may encounter this doubt, right? So for that, I will go to this practical session. Okay. So I have the list one. So in this list one, I have these 50. Like that. I have data. Okay. So I want the, if I want to sum the whatever the elements in the list, I want to sum all the elements and I want to the result of sum of the list. Okay. So then how we can go for L for I in list one. So what it will do? So what we are doing here for I in list 1. So for I in list 1 means, so it will loop through each item in the list, and it will, so if you want you can add like this. Okay, sum equal to sum plus I. Okay, print, not here. If you print here, it will. So after completion of this one, you can print sum of the elements in list. Okay. Will it execute or not? Tell me. So what I do here? So I
Sum
have
equal to
taken the
0.
list. Sorry.
I'm saying sum needs to be declared, I think. Sum equal to 0.
Yeah, for I in list 1, right? It will take the each element from the list and we are adding that element to the sum. Okay. So each element we are adding to sum and it will add this data to, and it will give the, at the end it will give the result of this sum. Okay. So if I run this one, what it has given? Tell me why it has given like this.
Sum is not declared for that thing.
You are telling that sum is not declared. Okay.
Sum equal to 0.
Sum equal to 0. Okay. You are telling because of this one we are getting that error, right?
Yeah.
Sum of the elements in the list is 150. Okay. So I am declaring here. So sum equal to 0. What it will happen if I declare here?
We'll get the output as 50 only.
Yes, correct. Why? For each time, whatever the sum we did, we are initializing that one. Okay. So we remove here and we will place it here. Okay. So list like dictionary also you can do, whatever the tuple also we can do. So you can practice tuple and dictionary how we can do. Okay. So another one is while, right? Another iterative statement is while. So when we use while, so while is also the loop, right? For also loop. So when we go for loop, when we go for while, when we go for, when we go for loop, while. Tell me anyone.
Can you please repeat your question?
So both while and for and while are using for the loop iterative, right? If you want to loop through
Yes.
anything, so you can use the while or for, right? So when we use while and when we use for.
Like for loop will go in line by line.
So for loop will go line by line.
Like number of steps in line by line.
Number of steps
But
in
while
line by
loop
line.
in single line. But in the while loop, it will take more than one line. Means it will be repeatable.
I think he's one loop for single condition check. He's saying that we should use while, and for for a looping more iterative statement, we should use for loop. But in
Okay.
while also, we can give the, I think in the inside this bracket, we can again run this while loop again and again. I think so. I had seen this in some other language.
So while loop, when we go for the while loop, right? So if you want to execute the group of statement, okay, if you want to execute group of statements iteratively until some condition is false, okay. So here, how what we are doing here in the for loop, we are executing the group of statements in the repeated way. If you want to 10 times, if you want to 10 times range of the value. So if you want to execute the 10 times, then you go for the range. Suppose you have the data, so you read the one file, right? So file has 100 records, okay. So file has 100 records. So you want to, you read the file. So you read the file. So after reading the file, so what it will do? So it will store it in one record, right? Okay. So all the data exist in the record. So this time what you will do? You will give the for loop and execute the until this one. So otherwise you have the, suppose what you have. Suppose you have the list, okay. So in this list you have 100 vendor names, okay. So each vendor name you have it in the list. So suppose you want to access the each vendor name and you want to validate that vendor name with the whatever the input value you got from the front end. So suppose you inquired about one vendor, so Amazon, okay. You inquire about Amazon. So in the Amazon, so you have given the product is, you want in the Amazon vendor, for the Amazon vendor you want the product mobile, okay. So you search for the vendor and the product you have selected the mobile, okay. So mobile also you have the different brands, right? Okay. So you selected the brand iPhone, okay, or Apple. Brand is Apple, right? So like that you have in the front end. You selected the Amazon. This is the vendor. Vendor is Amazon. Product is mobile. You have selected brand is Apple. Okay. So for this, you got the data from the front end to the back end. So in the Python, you received in the Python API. So after you received, you have to validate this vendor Amazon is exist or not. So in the list, okay, you have the vendor list, okay, vendor list. In the vendor list, you have all the vendors, whatever tie up with this product, okay. Suppose This software is suppose the ABC software tie-up with the 100 vendors. So all the vendors is in this vendor list. Okay. So you want to validate this Amazon vendor is tie-up with this company or not. So then you will read the vendor list and you will compare this Amazon with this whatever the data available in this list. You have to compare this Amazon list available or not. Okay, that time what you will do, you will extract the each list from this one vendor list. You will do it will what it will give. So each vendor it will give, right? So each vendor in vendor list. So in the condition, what you can give, if vendor in vendor equal to Amazon, if it is true, then we will do what you will do. So if whatever the logic, business logic is there, you will do here. Okay. So else, if that vendor is not found, right? This vendor is not exist in this vendor list. Rise error like vendor not found error. So like that you can write whatever the logic you want. So in this case, in this scenario, you will go for the for loop. Okay. So while loop, what you will give? So when you will go for the while loop, if while, okay, while a equal to 10, okay, understand, right? A equal to 10, you will give this one print of a, okay. So it will loop until this condition is false. So if you go a, so it will take, if the a is 10, then only it will come into inside. If a is not 10, it won't come to inside. So sometimes what you will go while true. So while true, so you will give like while true. If you give while true, it will always true, right? It will go to infinite loop. If you go while true, it will go to infinite because it is always true, right? So in this case, what you will do, while true, if any condition you want, you can check. After that, you can validate the conditions and all. You can break the, after this one done, you can break the loop. Okay, if you give break, it will break this loop. So then it won't go to infinite loop. Okay. Suppose in in when, so when you want to go to this one, okay, while this doubt we have, right? So you have the one field, okay. Suppose you have what is username, okay, username field, okay. In the front end you have the username. You have entered your username. Suppose Python is your username, right? So you have entered your username Python. So in backend you have to validate, right? Okay. If the username not equal to Python, okay, then again you have to show this one, okay. You have to raise error. What you have to do? Entered wrong username, okay. please give correct username. Okay, please type correct username. Like that you will print. Okay, if they give correct username, then what you will do? Okay, rise or print, return. You can take return in the function. If it is function, you can return, or otherwise you can print like username valid. Okay, so suppose I enter the Python, so this is false, right? It won't go to this one. So again it come to username is valid. So here I have given .NET or some other name, test I have given. So here test is what it is, test is false, right? So username not equal to Python means it is condition is true. So if the condition is true, it will come to inside this while loop, right? So it will raise an error. So it will send a error message to front end. So what we send, entered wrong username, please type correct username. This message we will send it to front end. So what they will do, they will show it in the screen. Okay, they will just show this one. They will uh, they will manipulate this string and they will show the whatever the format they want in the front end, they will show it in the screen. So again what you will do, you will give the correct username Python and you type the enter. When you enter the when you hit on enter, it will come to this while loop username. Here username equal to Python, right? This condition is false. Okay, if then it will go to, if the condition is false, it won't go to inside this loop, right? So that is why it comes to outside of the loop and it print the username is valid. You understand, right? While loop. Any doubt you have? Do you understand? Any doubts you have here? I am considering as no, and I will give you one example. Okay, so I have the n value 10 or 100. So I want the sum of 100 values. Okay, 0 to 100 values, sum of the 100 values. So in the interviews, most of the interviews they asked about the sum. Okay, sum of the 100 values. Okay, if they ask sum of the 100 values, then what you will do? Okay, you can use while. Okay, while I less than or equal to n. Okay, so here you should declare I equal to 0. Can give instead of 0. First value is 1, right? You can give 1 so that it will take a 1 value. So if you want come from 0, you can take it as 0 also. Okay. So while I equal to 1, sum equal to sum plus I. Okay. So here I equal to I plus 1. Sorry, I plus 1. We are increasing the one value after we did the sum. Okay. Okay. Until what we are doing here, we have taken I value. See, I is less than or equal to, it is less than 100, right? So here we have the 1. So 1 less than 100, right? So then it comes to this one. It's true, right? Condition is true. So then it comes to inside the loop and it is adding the sum. So you have to declare sum equal to 0. Okay. So sum equal to sum plus 1. After this sum operation completed, addition is completed, we are doing like increasing the I value. So now I value is 2. Again it comes to while loop. It will loop through until this condition is false. Okay. Understand, right? Print after the comes out of from the loop. Print sum of 100 values is sum. Okay. What you have, what it has given, 50-50, right? So whatever the values 1 to 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, if you sum those values up to 100, this is the value you got. So like that, by using while loop, you can achieve this logic. Understand, right? Do you understand or
Understand.
not? Yeah, okay. Any doubts on loop?
No, Sunil.
No, Sunil.
Okay. So we have completed the loop. We will go to nested loop. So what is the nested loop? Okay. Loop, within the loop, we call it as nested loop. We have the for I in range of 10. Okay. We have the I in range of 10. Okay. After that, we have the for j in range of 10. This is, we call it as nested loop. Loop within the loop, we call it as nested loop. Okay. So we will see the practical question. Suppose for I in range of 10, right? For j in range of 10. So, print I comma j. Okay. So we want to print I value. Okay. This we don't require. You want to can give, otherwise we don't require because we are using like this. Okay. We equal to comma j. Okay. So what it will print? What is the I value to print and what is the j value to print? Anyone guess?
For every I, it will print J for 10 times.
Yes, correct. So if I execute this one, yeah, see, I value is initial, it ranges from 0 to 9, right? So I value is 0. So inside the I loop, so what is we have J. So sub loop we have, right? So in the sub loop it will loop until 10. For 0 I value it will loop 10 times. Means J value is 0 to 9 for 0 I value. Okay. Likewise, if the I value is 1, so J value it will loop through until 9, 0 to 9. Okay, understand, right? So here, if in some interface they will ask like print the multiplication table. How you can print, right? I, then mm, suppose multiplication table means you don't have 0, right? So you can give I, then you can give equal to. So this is the you have to print I value. I like this here like this because you want to print I value and J value and you want to concatenate. So uh, putting like this, we have given like this. Should print I value and J value, no? To insert this one, you have to give option, then it will. Okay, this section completed here. After that, see. So you can skip this 0 table also, right? You can print from here also. One jar one, 2 jar 2, like that it will print until like this. So this is, if you take, this is the n value. So you should give n here. You can practice this one. N value 10. If you give n value 10, you can give n here, and it will range from this value. Okay. So if you give n, it will give n plus 1, and it will come from range like that. So here you want to give like I plus 1. I plus 1, if you give I plus 1, it will skip the table of 0 and it will increase the up to 10th table. So you have to give I plus 1. Okay. So this is the loop we can work on. So sometimes in the most of the interviews they will ask like print like this, sir. Okay, this is triangle, tree, like that they will ask us to print, right? Stars. So then what you will do? Like this. Okay. So in this case, what you will do? So they have given the n value, means up to how many lines you want to print, means how many rows you want to print. I want to print 5 rows. So you can give it from the input also. No worries. So for a practice purpose, I have given like this. Okay. So for I in, okay, range of 1 to, right, 1 to n plus 1. So why I have given n to 1 plus 1 here? Can anyone explain why I have given 1 to n plus 1? So here I want to skip the 0 range. So range will start from 0, right? So 0 to 9, 0 to 4. So that is the not my case. So I want to start from 1 to 5. So in this case, you will start from 1 to n plus 1. Okay. For j in range of, okay, 1 to, tell me, 1 to I plus 1. Okay. Print of what we want to print here, star, right? So you can give, instead of star, you can give any number or any letter, any special character you can give. So not only a star, you can give anything. Okay. So if I give n equal to this one, so it won't consider as, after end we have the more characters to print. Like that it will wait and it will print. Okay. After the each character in the single row. Okay. At the end we have to print like this, not here. You have to print after this loop exit. You have to print the whatever the value you print in this loop. Okay. So if I run this one, what it will print? Print star, 2 star. How many lines? It will print 5 lines. Each first it will print 1 star. After that it will increase 2. It will increase 3. It will increase 4. It will increase 5. So like that, whatever the rows we have given, n value we have given, that much value it will increase. So how it works? So first you take I. For I in range from 1 to n plus 1. What is the first time it has I value is 1, right? So it has 1. So here if it comes to, what is the range here? 1 to 1 plus 1 means 1 to 2. 1, 2 here. Okay, understand, right? 1 to 2 means how many you can get here?
Single value 1.
Yeah. So print means we are printing this one, star, for the first line. So after that it come out of from this loop and will again loop the second value. So here I value is 2, right? So I value is 2 and here 2, 1 to 2 plus 1 means 3. Okay. 3 means until 1, 2 only, right? It will have 3 it won't consider until 3. That is why 1, 2, two values. It will what it will print? 2 stars it will print. So after that it will come out of from this loop and after that it will take 3 value. 3 means range of 1 to 3 plus 1 means 4. 1 to 4 means 1 to 3. After that it will come to again second third row it will print 3 stars. Like that it will print the until the this condition is satisfied. Okay, understand, right?
Okay, okay.
So any doubts in this?
No, Sunil.
Okay, so
Without
what we
same
left?
program
We left.
without using condition statements.
Sorry, what is your question? Same program
Without
by
using
using
condition
condition.
statements.
So
Without using condition statements.
there is no condition statement right here. These are loops only. Without using loops, you are asking.
Yes.
So without using loops, how can you do? So you can do by using if conditions, but it that is a lengthy process. Okay, you have to declare multiple these variables, and you can do, but that is a more complex. So if you have this range, this for loops and all, why you can go for the if conditions and all.
Okay.
So what we left, transfer statements, right? So transfer statements, we have break, continue, and pass. So first we will talk about break. Okay. Suppose break means if you want to break any loop based on the conditions, then we can use the break statement. Suppose we have the for loop for I in range of 10 times. Okay. So here if I equal to some 5, okay. So if I equal to 5, then you come out of from the loop, means you can give the break here. So print out some value you have to. This is condition is satisfied. When we go for this type of statements, so when we go for break, so in real time when we go for the loop, right? So I have explained about the vendors. Where I have explained what vendor condition. This one, right? Here vendor in vendor list. Okay. So here in vendor list you have so many vendor lists, right? So you don't want to loop through all the vendor lists. So once the vendor is found, so you have to came out of from that loop, right? You don't want to validate others loop others also, right? Okay. So once this vendor is found, So if the vendor is from any position, right? If it is in first position or if it is in second position, if it is in third position, so any position it exists. So once the vendor is found, we have to exit from this loop, right? Then we go for the break. If you give the break, it will exit from that loop. So here also same scenario. If I have found this 5 in the range of 10, then I want to exit from this loop. Then you use the break statement. Okay, I will explain here. So for I in range of 10, okay. So if I equal to 5, so print condition that is fine. Okay, you can break the link. You can break the loop. Okay, if you loop through what it breaks the condition. So you can give here. So like you can print until how many if you want to know. Sir, how can I know that range is break in between that 5? So if you can print I value just, okay, you can just check. See 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that condition satisfied came out of from this loop. Understand, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So continue. So when we go for the continue, if anyone know, tell me about the continue.
Next
So
executable
if,
statement.
yeah, so I want to, in this list I have multiple. So in this range I want to validate the multiple values. Suppose here I validated only Amazon, right? So I want to validate another thing also. So in that condition, what you will do, you will give continue. Instead of break, you will give continue. So what it will give, it will skip this condition. Okay, it validated and it find, right? Here whatever logic you did, you can do. After that, it will skip the validation. So it will continue to the next value. So it will again start the loop from the whatever position Amazon found. So after that position, it will again start. So after that, what you have to do? So if you want to give condition also, it will loop through. But if you give condition, so if you want to skip the any value from the list, you can use condition. Suppose here I found the 5. So otherwise, when we go for the this one, suppose I have the for I in range of 10, right? 10. So here I want to print only odd values. So then if I divided by 2 equal to 0, then what I will go continue. If I give continue, it will skip the even values. Okay, only print I means it only print odd values only. What we are doing here, if I divided by 2 equal to 0, we are doing continue, just we are not doing anything, just we give the continue. Okay, so it will continue to the, it will transfer control to the next statement what it has print. So it won't come to here, so it will come to this one. Okay, this print won't execute, it will continue to the next statement, next whatever the iterative statement is there, it goes to that iterative statement. Okay, if the condition is okay not true, then it will come to here. Okay, if the condition is true, this print won't execute. Why? This continue pass the control to this for again. So look for the another iterative statement what you have in your queue, so you can continue next iterative statement. Okay, it skipped to print this value. Okay, understand, right? Just continue.
Yes, Sunil.
So what we have pass, right? Next one, we only left the pass statement. Suppose you have pass statement is mostly used when we are declaring the function. Suppose I declare the function like validate date. So I want to write logic later, but I want to first declare the whatever the functions I want to write. Just you declare the functions, you just give the pass means. If you don't write any if just you write this one, it won't, it will throw the syntax error because there is no content in this function. Because of that one, so when you want to declare dummy function, then you give it as pass. So later I can write any logic, whatever the validation logic you want, you can write in this function by removing this pass. Just it will pass this function. Okay, you declare the validate, it declared the validate function, but we don't write, you don't want to write any logic inside that, later you want to write after the code you have written. Okay, so then you just give the pass, it will pass this function and it will go to the next function, whatever the sequence function you have, it will go to the next function. Okay, understand, right? So that's it for today class. You have any doubts, you can ask.